Um, Hi. I have 17% battery life, and I was thinking about, um, a lot of stuff. I was thinking about the, I don't even know where I started. I guess I'll work on a synchronous timelines. Um, so thinking about long form content, the structure of the presidential debates. Wow, what a way to spend a minute. The structure of presidential debates, in that giving candidates 30 seconds to respond, or even 2 minutes to make a cohesive argument, and then expect someone to make a cohesive rebuttal in 30 seconds or whatever, is such a joke. You're really not diffusing information at all there. There's not even the capacity for a thoughtful debate where both people are open to changing their minds. That doesn't even give people time to really process an argument. Granted, there are certainly arguments these candidates have heard 1,000 times and have a pretty good explanation that they can draw on that's really, so concise it can fit in 2 minutes. Candidates that have been saying the same thing for decades. Anyway, if we expanded these debates, these sessions, these, I don't know, individual topics of debate, and remove the time limit, essentially. I think that's just most accessible. Like, leave it like, I don't know if this is actually how chess works. I don't follow competitive chess, but, where you can make a move a day later and it's fine. Like, go talk to your people. Like, actually find out what you believe about this thing that we're talking about, because it's important. Like, okay, so that's not even the point. The point is that because it works the way it does, it makes it really easy to find really compelling sound bites that are massively influential and don't actually necessarily reflect a cohesive opinion. And I was thinking about this. I was so two divergent things here. One, and I'm probably gonna lose track. One being, it's the judgment that derails me. Just the self-judgment. It's like, oh, you forgot. You don't know where you are. Idiot. It's like, facts. But it is how it is. I am how I am. Getting better every day. Okay. Debates. Social manipulation. This is kind of just a thesis that popped into my head, because because this can be so massively influential and has been weaponized by, Cambridge Analytica and wherever the fuck they went after, which is really scary that I don't know. It's essentially kind of the most dangerous weapon to a democratic society is this ability to understand people's psychometrics so well that you can manipulate them with reasonable certainty. You know, it's not perfect mind control, obviously. We all have the option to say no to another video on YouTube, but like, you know, when you've got a community like QAnon, you know, okay, Q was wrong a few too many times. This is, you know, and yet, because there's such a tight-knit community around it, because people have found such belonging in it, because there's such a strong in-group, out-group effect within that community, people are just gonna, like, sure, I'll go one deeper to get to know my cousin Jim better. It's like, it can have really scary consequences, obviously. And I don't think we've seen anything yet. But I feel like we're fueling this fire. We're making it really easy to be targeted by companies like Cambridge Analytica, by countries like Russia, because we're giving them fuel. We're just like, we pay ourselves to give them fuel in these little useless sound bites. Okay, so back on the other train, I'm actually doing it. Let's go. I was reading, so I just finished an audiobook called Love Your Enemy by Arthur C. Brooks. Center-right economist. I haven't read any books by people on the right yet, I don't think, or listen to. I mean, I don't read or listen much at all, but I really haven't read any political books thus far, but I've read plenty of, I don't know, liberal virtue signaling, business, self-help type books. I don't mean to strongly degrade that. I don't quite understand how I feel about it yet. But anyway, really compelling book, really excellent book, no matter where you are politically. Just basically a practical guide to being a change maker for peace in America. And that's something I aspire to be. And so I really appreciated the book and the way it was told. And anyway, I was interested in his other works, and I was just kind of Googling around today because I knew he had a book called The Conservative Heart. And as a means to kind of build empathy with the right, and I guess, quick tangent here, like, I started politically moderate left. Pretty moderate altogether. It's kind of my parents being somewhat split politically. And then 2016 happened, and I was like, just checked out of the Republican Party, 100%. You know, I was splitting my tickets up until that point to a large degree, voted for plenty on both sides, and then, yeah, since 2016, I've only voted for one Republican, and it's just, Um, yeah, just to give some backstory on my biases as I talk about this content. Um, so I've lost a lot of trust for the Republican Party since 2016, and it's not back. The the folks the anyway, too far on the tangent. I wanted to read The Conservative Heart, or at least understand more about The Conservative Heart, because I see just two starkly different Republicans in my head, and I want to understand both of them better, but I especially want to understand the one I can reason with. So there's this fanatical Trumper that is whatever Trump says, and there is kind of my dad. And so one is a fictional account that's hyperbolic, and obviously I've had reasonable conversations with, people I want to judge as, crazy Trumpers. But so I should be more precise in my words as I talk about the difference. Just, again, trying to inform as to any biases I'm carrying as a recorder of the divine goop. What was I saying? These are so silly. Okay. Anyway, tying back to my broader point. Thank you for bearing with me here. I read the summary of The Conservative Heart, and one of the things that stuck out was this argument about conservatives having, from a broad policy perspective, they try to be really informed, really reasonable, pragmatic, kind of, well thought out plans. And the arguments he makes throughout the books is that the issue is that conservatives don't know how to talk about these positions in a way that is both cohesive and compelling. And the compelling comes down to talking about the morals behind the decision. You can propose anything, but the why is key. And so a lot of times he says that conservatives are seen as uncaring when they talk about things like no minimum wage increase and decrease in regulation for businesses, lower taxes on the wealthy, and not going into detail on research informing those opinions and models that have some kind of track record of working, despite them being kind of unintuitive from an emotional I want to help these people perspective. And I haven't looked into that at all. I'm not any which way on this really, except for a flat tax percent. But steady on these tangents. I feel like just gonna take a second here. It's really distracting to do the camera thing. Glad there will be two, though. Did I really just pick my nose on here? Unfiltered, uncensored. NSFW. Do not click. Such a dumb way to use my battery, but I'm rebooting. Because I feel like I was not efficiently getting to my point there and tying it all together with a nice bow in my mind, my very disheveled mind. It's probably all moot. I don't know. I don't think anyone is gonna see this to tell me either. Okay. Okay. Back in it. He also brings up as kind of a counterpoint to this not a counterpoint, but he juxtaposes conservatives' failure to appeal for the morality it's partially an inability, he argues, because the information is complex. That could be bullshit, I don't know, but probably works on both sides, honestly. But it's also that conservatives just don't appeal to morals in the same way liberals do. And I obviously, abortion is its own issue. It's a single issue voter issue. But anyway. That's Obama said, we're going to give America a raise. And that was, something we could just bite, just, oh, yes, I am America. I would like a raise. True thing. But, didn't take into account, what a minimum wage increase could look like in a setting where I feel like there was good public understanding. I feel like there is far from a good public understanding of economics, generally. Obama was the first person I voted for. Just another disclosure, but kind of a fun fact, because it's fresh now, but that shit ages. Right. So, coalescing into debates are short and bad. They create these little sound bites that fly through the internet, spread like wildfire, and those are the things that get used to radicalize people. Because you can just create a web of them. And you can get yourself on record saying pretty much anything, re-Trump, and I don't feel bad singling him out, because, like, that shit hasn't happened in my lifetime. Like, Obama did not do that. He flip-flopped on some shit, definitely, but it was over the course of years, not hours. Like, anyway, I guess that's kind of the core of where I was at in the thought prior to turning this on. And yeah, just curious about how attention span relates to political radicalism. Because people who radicalize on these sound bites, and I guess I shouldn't essentialize radicalization to these sound bites, because they're not the same at all. Like, the real radicalization videos are, like, extensive. They're all type 2 processing, like, really sit down and understand this whole argument we've built up, and please ignore the plot holes. And there's that. So I guess maybe I'm not even talking about political extremes. Political extremes are kind of their own thing, because they do go deep on conversation, but it can get, like, in a bubble and in a box, to use a completely almost synonymous metaphor. Self-judgment. Balls. I'm moving soon across the road. That's all I have to say about that. That shit goes deep. We don't have time. No time on this battery. How are we doing? Yeah, right, I have until 8:15. You're full of shit, Pixel. This was probably entirely incoherent, but I'm glad I did it anyway. I'm hungry. And I'm not gonna make a whole pizza, because I didn't buy any more since that. See, this is the thing. Like, I filter myself because I'm talking to this picture of my face. I'm literally just watching my face talk, but I'm, like, dissociated, and it seems like another person. I mean, obviously, I'm not, like, I can tell it's me. Oh yeah, that's that notification I was ready for. But like, you know, it's like, audience, millions of people will see this, and it's like, no, but I feel it so deeply. It's like, ugh. And I just don't want to say all the things. It's like, but we work through this, right? To an extent. We'll always have secrets. God, I hope no one on the internet takes that as a challenge. I don't have secrets. Right, so the pizza thing. Two related thoughts I've been thinking about lately. One, or rather unrelated, but related to pizza. Not related to pizza. Alright, we'll just shut up. There's, well, one, I picked up some hemp cigarettes. They're just hemp in a cigarette. Very nice. Excellent for anxiety. However, addictive. Like, I've smoked so much CBD. Not addictive. Hemp bats? Addictive. It's just like, I don't know, it's just like that much fire, that much smoke. It's just that stupid little head high. Like, does the tobacco even matter? Like, it's kind of whack. So I've been smoking too many of them, and this last one I tried to have, I just felt sick. Like, I puked a little bit, and this was like, I don't know, an hour ago, and I was like, all right, that's that. I had just been debating whether or not I was going to buy another pack, and it's like, I've been going through these way too quickly. Storage low. God, I'm out of storage and out of battery. I am a mess. I need to switch phones. That was what I told myself I was going to do tonight. The one thing I told myself I was going to do. And instead, I spent the whole phone battery, which I need to do it, on this blog. Anyway, I've decided not to buy more hemp bets. Storage low. Tap to manage. Alright. XOXO.